Hey guys, how's it going? It's Target here. Sorry, that was a bit of a weird one. How's it going? It's Target here. Welcome back to another episode of the Chicago Blackhawks Be a GM. We finished the season. We finished the playoffs. We won the Stanley Cup. Remember that very confusing moment where I had absolutely no idea what was going on? Yeah, that was the Stanley Cup final. So, for anybody else that was confused like I was, now you know. Anyway, what I should get into here. When I left off, I was talking about the draft and how we probably shouldn't make too many moves. Now, what I did was I did categorize the guys that were on our list as well as the top fives so that I understand. Now, the only one that the guy recommended to us from the top five was a guy by the name of Sean Day. He's a defenseman. He's considered the top consensus pick for this year. Nobody really is that good, so I'll show you this first. We'll go to scouting. And we'll go to scouting report so we have some kind of an idea. You'll see that there's like 3-star, 3.5, 3, 3.5, 3.5. You know, these guys could be 4 stars, but I don't think we're going to see any 4.5-star players here from the looks of things. You might not even see a 4 green star player. All right, so we're going to get into it, but there are a couple players from the list that they suggested. They suggested Zach Bratina. He's scheduled to go 3rd overall. Or, sorry, in the 3rd round. We got Nicky Petty, who's scheduled to go in the 2nd round. Also, Michael Cramarosa, 2nd rounder. And then Kyle Pettit, a 2nd rounder. So what we may end up doing is making sure that we have 3 2nd rounders and a 3rd rounder if we can. And we want Kyle Pettit. If you guys remember Kyle Pettit, when we had him, he was a good 3rd-line center. He ends up being really, really good. So I'd like to pick up Kyle Pettit in the draft. He is our draft target, and he's projected to go in the 2nd round. So we do only have 1 2nd-round pick, so I'd like to obtain 2 more. So we'll see what we can do here. All right, I'd like to pick those guys up, at least as a challenge. So we've got our 30th, which we may end up just using to pick one of those players. Or we just pick, you know, a 1st round player. There's nobody really worth it to me to go after or to make a move for, okay? So, let's see here. We really don't need to make a trade here if we don't want to. We could make a trade. We'll see what's available for 2nd round picks, all right? Who's willing to deal their 2nd round pick? Okay, so Anaheim is. That would be the 37th overall pick. Boston would be the 43rd. Buffalo would be the 44th. Calgary would be the 41st. Everybody wants to get rid of it, it looks like. Colorado. Who's the worst? Dallas? Let's take a look at Dallas here. Other way. Let's see what their 31st... They don't want to get rid of the 31st. 59. Edmonton's 49. Florida, 42. Los Angeles, 57. Yeah, it seems all relative anyway in the value, 53 and 33. They got the New York Islanders pick. They'd be willing to deal the 33rd pick, and we could do a multi-trade here. And the 53rd? Now, let's see what they want. Let's see what they want. Hold on. Matching. Goalies, anti-Ranta. Skaters. They got a lot of skaters matching. Let's see here. Mark Fane. Mark Fane, you know, he's a defensive defenseman. We picked him up. We could trade Fane away for that pick, because we're gonna have what are we gonna have for defense coming up? We'll decide that when we figure out who we want. Like LeBlanc, Drew LeBlanc. I find he's a good 4th-line player, 81 overall center. He's a good 2-way forward for us. I like Drew LeBlanc. He did well for us in the playoffs. They would take many of these guys. Kruger, Marcus Kruger, center, 2-way forward, 78 overall. He doesn't seem to be getting any better. And I think somebody mentioned that as well, that Kruger does just not get any better. And Bolig, they would take Bolig. So if we were to be able to move Bolig, who we're not even using anyway, so we'd move Brandon Bolig. All right. And we would definitely need to give up somebody else. It'd have to be one more, either Kruger or Winnick. And we just picked up, did we not just pick up Winnick? I don't remember the exact sequence of events. I've been gone too long. He finished with a +2. And Kruger, oops, Kruger, what did you finish with, buddy? Kruger finished with a +3, and he's got potential. And what's his face-offs like? 70 face-offs. He's younger. I would rather switch Kruger for Winnick in that case then, and we'll send him packing for a 3rd, and we'll get another 3rd-round pick. What do you guys think about that? Does that sound good to you? All right, let's see if this will go through. Bolig and Winnick. Actually, do they want any? Is there anything else that they would take? Just Ranta, hey. Well, what's our goalie situation anyway? I mean, we can always get backup goalies. That's the thing. What's our goalie situation? We've got Brandon Whitney. We could sign another goalie if we wanted to. So let's throw Ranta on there. And you know what? I'm going to keep Winnick off. Let's take... what the hell is it? There you go, goalies. There you go. Okay, so let's throw Ranta and Winnick on there. Now let's take a look and see that we can trade him away if they'll take him. 2 years left, okay, and Bolig. Bolig has 2 years left. So this trade will go through very likely. So those two players, Bolig and Ranta, are backup goalie. Ranta is what? Yeah, 3 white stars, 79 overall. We can get somebody like that in free agency. Let's go get this pick. Let's add some more depth to our prospect pool. Let's see if Montreal do it. Will they do it? No. This seems to be one of those occasions where the trade block paid off in spades. Montreal could start a deal based on what you offered us. We could live with what you are sending us, but not in this deal. Your offer is woefully insufficient when I consider value for what you are asking in return. Okay. All right. Let's go to Anaheim then. Let's see if they're willing to deal that one. Because it's not as high and it's not as lowly ranked. So they're willing to take our second round pick. Okay, now what about players? They would take some goalies. What's the deal with Giuliano? He's only a 3 yellow star. Okay, so I will deal Giuliano. And Greenfeld, what's your deal, buddy? He's 3 yellow star as well, 50 overall. So you know what? I would put Greenfeld in there. We'll take Giuliano out. They're almost identical, so we'll put one in there. Brandon Whitney, he's kind of our best defensive or goaltending prospect. He's not great, but he's not bad either. If we look by value now for players, they want Carrier, but we're gonna keep Carrier. 3.5 yellow stars. He could be something for us. We want somebody that's basically nothing left at him. Let's see if we know we can get rid of Bolig, and you know what? That should go through. Bolig and Greenfeld, or what's this other? Who's D'Souza? Because he's 47 over. There's a 47 overall. There's a 40 overall. What's his deal? 2.5 red stars for D'Souza. His value is not much lower than Bolig at all. So let's switch the two. All right, so Sousa and Greenfeld for Anaheim's second round pick. Will it go through? No. Your offer to us is filling needs we have, but the value just isn't there. So we need to give up one more. So I'm going to make one more potential offer to the Anaheim Ducks because they do want more players for their second. All right, so I will give them Greenfeld. I will give them, we'll go from the top here. I will give them D'Souza, and I will also give them Bolig. Okay, so they get 2 guys that we're never going to use, and we can hopefully turn that into a good pick. So will this go through? No. Unbelievable. Okay, so they don't want to make that trade. Let's see. I don't know. I guess let's see what I have to offer them. For skaters that have a little bit more value than that. You're looking at the LeBlanc brothers, Louis and Drew. Oh, what's the deal with Louis LeBlanc? 4 red, yellow stars. He could get better in the offseason. I think he will. Okay, Carrier. What's the deal? Carrier was 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 yellow stars. We're not guaranteed to get a 3.5 yellow. Let's see if we give them Kruger. Let's see if we give them... We'll give them the better goalie. We'll give them Giuliano, Kruger. And I will give them... Let's see here. And Bolig. Okay, and then we'll see if we can get that pick away from them. Because the value is very close. I don't understand why this is not going through. Like, those 3 add up to that for sure. Plus, and then some. So will it go through now? There you go. On behalf of the Anaheim Ducks organization, I accept your trade offer. We'll see you out in the ice. So we are going to probably be looking for a 4th line player then. We can make another trade. So let's see if there's anybody else that's willing to deal anything like that. Boston, get rid of your second. It's 43rd, so it's not too much further off. This will give us our that'll give us our 3rd pick in the second round. And then we got the 1 second rounder. So what do they want? They want the goalies, forwards, or players. They'll take a bunch more, but just like Fane. No, okay, I could potentially deal Fane, okay? $2.98 million for a top 6 defenseman. Now, but I do need to look at my defensive situation here for next year. Okay, so go by overall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Fane. Fane's number 6. Now, we do have Clendening coming up, possibility, a 4 yellow star defenseman, Clendening. So maybe what we do is we deal Fane and hoping that Clendening gets better and that he'll make that jump. And he'll have the support of Letty, Pekka. Wow, Letty dropped down. Wasn't he not an 88 overall? Or 86 overall? It does that. So is Peckham, too. And his value jumped up now, too. So he's no longer a... What's he rated now? He's probably a top 4 now. Yeah, now he's a top 4. Now he's switched over, and we've got him for $680,000. Unfortunately, only for 1 year. Should have signed him to like 3. But so Nick Leddy, I would trade Fane for a 2nd-round pick, because we've got Clendenning coming up through the system, and this will give us more prospects, and that's what we want, right? We want to add more prospects to the pool. So we're gonna do that. That's a fair trade, I think. Mark Fane for a 2nd. We'll go through. Your contract with Fane expires shortly, of course, but they want him. So I guess that's it for now. We will make another trade, hopefully, at the next go-around. Once I'm going to sim through here. I'm going to take a photo of the top 10. Top 10. Focus camera. There we go. That way I've got it. Okay, let's go out there and let's see what we have for picks. Let's see what we have available here. Oops. Now, we could go ahead and draft one of the players like Pettit, who's going to go in the 2nd round. We wouldn't need to make another trade. Or we could pick up one of these guys like Connor Burgess. You know what? I'm going to go with Kyle Pettit. I'm going to take him. We're not going to make any more trades. We'll be able to pick our guys up like this. So let's go with Pettit for our 1st round pick. And then we're going to have 2 more picks here in the 2nd. And hopefully we can pick up Petty and Camarosa here. So let's see what happens, all right? We're going to shut down the phones. Yes, we're okay with this. Come on. Petty is still available. So whoever's higher up, so there's Petty. There he is. And Camarosa is a little bit further down. Camarosa is a little bit further down. We may not get to him. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, he went to Toronto. So we'll look into it possibly. Now, our 3rd round pick was Bratina. I don't know how far down the list he is, so we'll take a look at that. Bratina. He's a 3rd rounder. He's early in the 3rd round, and we don't have any additional 3rd round picks. We might be able to pick up another 3rd rounder, or we could just take Bratina. Or we could gamble on Barwell, a playmaker. You know what? I'm just going to take Bratina. That way we don't have to worry about it. We're at the 3rd round anyway. There you go. We'll continue there. Continue. And we're just going to shut down the phones. We're going to auto draft the rest. So we got a number of players. We got Bratina, Petty, and Pettit from our... So we got 4 of the 5 that we were looking for, which is not bad. So we had 1, 2 in the 2nd round, and 1 in the 1st. We drafted up a little bit. That's okay. I'm not too worried about it. Now we get to go to free agency. All right. So I think a lot of you guys were happy that I said that I'm going to try and keep most of the core intact. You know, I'm not going to be making any more big trades. We got to re-sign some players, so we've got some problems to deal with here. Okay, so let's deal with this first. Let's see what we've got. Forwards, centers. All right, so overalls. We'll start by overall. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 locked down. All right, Nazem Kadri's 86, but Druin's going to be playing on the top line. So Kadri is a 2nd liner, 86. That's awesome, fantastic, good to have him there. So LeBlanc and LeBlanc will be 3 and 4. Nordstrom, he's signed. So is we'll have to sign Tervainen. Dano. All right, McNeil. We'll have to sign a few people. Ryan Hartman's still 61 overall, but he's signed. Okay, there we go. Let's go over to left wings. Let's take a look here. So we only have to re-sign. We don't have to re-sign anybody. We've got 2nd line, 3rd line, and then Winnick on the 4th line. Okay, and then right wings. We've got 1st line, 2nd line, and Andrew Shaw, who's playing on the 3rd line. All right, so we do have to re-sign Andrew Shaw. Now on defense, we need to re-sign Seth Jones, Theo Peckham, and Mark Fane. But I feel like I'm going to probably let Mark Fane go. Goaltending, we are okay on. But we will tender a qualifying offer here to Caruth just to keep him in the system. And we'll send one Greenfield's way as well. Let's take a look at those players we drafted, though. First off is the center. We'll take a look at Nicky Petty. How is he? So Petty ended up being 3 yellow stars. Kyle Pettit ended up being 3 yellow stars, so we didn't get the best deal for him, I guess. He's not going to be as good as he was last time, which was 3.5. But it's a gamble. We'll see what happens anyway. That was the 2 there. And then there was Zach Bratina, the left winger. We drafted him in the 3rd round. And Bratina, where are you, dude? Where's Bratina? Do we not? There he is. Sorry, 2.5 yellow stars, so it's a good thing we didn't trade for him. It was definitely an underwhelming draft. Now, before we re-sign the guys, which we will be able to easily afford, I want to look at the top players. So Dallas got Sean Day. So let's take a look at Sean Day. Let's see what they have for prospects. He's 4 green stars, so he'll get there eventually. He's not great, though, but he will get there eventually. Benson went to Washington, so let's pop over to Washington. Benson. He's 4 green stars as well, 47 overall sniper. Gauthier went to the Islanders, so we'll pop over there. There we go, Gauthier. He's 4.5 yellow stars, so there's the win right there, Julian Gauthier. 4.5 yellow stars, and he's 54 overall, so he's got a really high overall, which is nice. They've also got this Barzal guy, 63 overall, centerman, playmaker. And now they've picked up Gauthier, another playmaker. And they got Reinhardt, 4.5 yellow stars. Unbelievable. They're pretty stacked. And then, of course, John Tavares, without question. Connor McDavid, 75 overall these days, just so you guys know. I know you like to keep up on him. Ronning from Vancouver. Let's see what Ronning was about. Ronning. He's 4 yellow stars, 49 overall. McIntyre from Philadelphia. McIntyre, where are you, dude? There he is, 4 yellow stars, 50 overall. Modine from New Jersey. Let's see here, Modine. He ends up being, where's Modine? Oh, 3.5 yellow. So see, yeah, we're already into 3.5 yellow. And Modine is, I didn't get the number in there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th pick overall, and he's 3.5 yellow stars. So I think we did okay by not doing any moves at that point. So I'm happy with what we've got here. Let's go to Chicago. And let's take a look at re-signing our players. So obviously, we're going to be re-signing the big guns first. So those are our defensemen. That is Seth Jones. Now let's take a look. He's 87 overall. What does he want? $4.6 million for 4 years. That's a fantastic deal. We could sign him for 8 at 6.2. But you know what? I'll give him the 4 years at 4.6. So let's go to my calculator here. Now for those of you that don't know, that are unfamiliar, you just need to multiply their contract and what their asking price is by 0.85. 0.85, and that's the minimum number, a minimum amount that they'll accept, and round up. Otherwise, if you round down, it won't work. So he will work for 3.95. Look at that. That's an insane savings right there. God damn it. You know, you're talking like $500,000 on a really good player. 3.9, actually, you know what? 3.935 is what we can honestly offer Seth Jones for 4 years. That is a steal of a deal on him. And then Theo Peckham, this is the other one I want to re-sign. He wants 4.6 for 2 years. You know what? We'll give him the 4.6 for 2 years. 4.605. God damn it. Oh, for God's sake. 605 times 0.85. 3.915. That's what we can offer him. So him and Seth Jones are making pretty much the same amount. 3.915. Okay, so for 2 years, Theo Peckham signed down for those. I'm not going to re-sign Fane. I think Clendening is going to be good enough to jump up. So I'll leave him for now. I'm just not going to re-sign him. Simaday. Let's see how things go here. Mark Fane. I'm assuming we got both. So we got Seth Jones, and we got Theo Peckham. Perfect. We should have signed him for a couple years. All right. All skaters. Forwards. Centers. That's what we're going to sign. We will sign Louis LeBlanc to a new contract. Absolutely. You're going to play the third line. 1.945 for 2 years. That'll max him out. Sure, we'll do the 2 years. 1.945. And times 0.85. And we only have to offer him 1.655. So we're going to save a little bit of money on him. But every little bit helps. So we'll get LeBlanc there. We will sign Tervainen. What does he want? For 3 years. We'll lock him in for the 3 years. At 0.77. We can actually give him 655. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to save $100,000 on Teuvo Tervainen for 3 years. Deno. We will negotiate you a new contract. You're 3.5 yellow stars. 3 years. You know what, 900,000. If he's going to be asking that much, it means he's going to be making quite a bit. So we can give him 765. I'll lock him down for 765. That way, when he's actually pretty good, we'll be good to go. Anderson, I'm not going to worry about. McNeil, I will negotiate a new contract with McNeil. 3 years. He wants 1.10 or 1.01 times 0.85. And that will be 860 is what we're going to offer McNeil. This is about long-term lockdown, giving these guys giving these guys good value in the future, not so much about now. Ryan Hartman signed for 925. I will tender a qualifying offer to Broadhurst. We got Denalo down. I'm going to leave Anderson. I've got no need to do that. I will negotiate a new contract with Kopik. Sure, 5.75 for 3 years. That's fine with me. Nobody else here. Left wingers. We could negotiate one with you, Mashinter. He's a good depth pick for us. We got Nick Ritchie as well, 67 overall. I'm not going to worry about these guys. Mashinter, you know what? We'll sign Mashinter just in case we don't have anybody that we can add. There, 1 year for 5.85. He's just AHL hired gun, you know. Andrew Shaw, that's the other one we need to sign. We still got $11 million to spend. 3 years at 3.025, or we can say, so in 3 years he's going to be really good. So we're going to do the 3 years. 3.025 times 0.85. We'll actually get him for 2.575. So we'll save a little bit on him. It doesn't seem so bad when he's in the 2.5s. There you go. So 2.575 is what we'll offer for Andrew Shaw, and that'll keep him locked down for 3 years, and it seems like he's going to get really good at some point there too. Defense, Dalbec, I'm not going to bring you back. I'm not going to bring Brisebois back. Those guys are completely useless. Carrier, though, Alexander Carrier, two-way defenseman, 4.5 or 3.5 yellow stars. I will give him a contract because it looks like he could be going somewhere. 5.75 is what I'll give you. And then goaltending, I will negotiate a new contract with Greenfield, sorry. 5.75 is the lowest, and I will. You know what? I'm not going to worry about Caruth. No, I'm not going to worry about it. So let's sim a day, make sure that we got everybody. And then when we cut off here, next video when we come back, we will be going into free agency. Andrew Shaw decided to renew his contract. So did Louis LeBlanc. So did Brandon Mashinter. Mark McNeil rejected it. He said, I'm not really interested in two-way offers at this time. Thank you for your interest. We got Deneau. We got Greenfield. We got Carrier, we got Kopech, and we got Tervainen. So we need to head over to our center, McNeil. There's McNeil. Let's see here. His interest in a two-way contract. He says he has interest in a two-way contract, but he doesn't want 3 years. That's the thing. So let's give him 2 years at 6.60. Yeah, we'll give him the 6.60. Whatever. You know what? Let's give him. Yeah, 2 years. It doesn't matter so much. Okay, 6.60 for 2 years. There you go. We'll check to see if we get Mark McNeil. Now, one of the things when we come back, I'm going to tell you guys about for free agency and trading and stuff. There we go, renew contract. It'll help us build our cupboard of prospects, okay? So I'll leave it there. Now that we're all set up with free re-sign and all that fun stuff, we'll get into free agency and see what there's available, okay? So until next time, I'm Target Audience, and I'll catch you guys out on the ice.